Well, hey friends, we have a new moon in Pisces, and I'm going to give you a High Priestess reading because the High Priestess is out there in the stars. Maybe I'll tell you what's going on, but my source is the Astrology King, so if you look at their blog about this new moon in Pisces, you'll encounter the Eye, which is, I guess I am going to tell you. It's a relationship, a very positive relationship between Saturn, the Sun, and the Moon all together. Pluto and Venus are in sextile to them, and it forms the shape of an eye, kind of like that. And I know that's backwards, but so this is the shape that the Astrology King calls this eye. And what it can cause for you is the ability to intuitively know. And so this reading is about something that you know, something nagging on you, a gut feeling, maybe a dream that you had. You're trying to make sense of it. You're trying to face it. And for some reason you're avoiding it. You have an unconscious fear here. But this reading is supposed to help you move through that as a part of the dark night where there's no moon that is coming up here tomorrow night, or actually it's happening right now as I do this reading here in Flagstaff, Arizona. So let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going to pull a card from the very powerful Tarot of the She, which, yes, I always want you to know how that is spelled. It is a Celtic fairy person. They live in the underworld. They can be quite tall. Okay, I'm going to split this deck again. It wants to be split again. Okay, let's see. First card. What is this mystery about? The Maker Prince, the gift of connection. So some kind of connection. And you can see this beautiful Earth Prince. He's the slowpoke knight in the tarot. And he is making friends with nature, with the earth. Beautiful connections across species. I just love this card. I'm so happy. So we can see that little owl. He is connecting with this tree. There's this sweet dog here. Another little mousy person. Yeah. It's a beautiful fairy. He's got antlers. Beautiful. I love the Maker Prince. The gift of connection. That's what this is about. What's going on the bottom? Yeah. Okay. Dreamer 3. This is the disconnection. This is the broken heart right there. The birds representing the mind, the swords have torn the heart asunder. And this is when your heart and your mind are in conflict. So you're trying to make a connection. I feel like there is this beautiful shift towards Earth and connecting and making relationships that assuages this soul loss. That is, this card is a card of soul loss. This card came up a while ago in a reading I did, really moving, powerful, affecting reading about Earth and us. So we're here again in our connection with our planet or some other kind of connection. There's something, it's already nagging you. You already know what it is. You're not surprised that this reading is going to be about that. So we're going to pull some cards here. I have an extra deck and I'm not totally sure why that deck is here, but we shall see what happens. This is a new reading for me, and so bear with me if I refer to my notes a little bit. We're going to use the Guardian of the Night Tarot. This reading is inspired by the moon, as she actually is with the sun, which I love that thought of. The moon is not with us in the night because she's with the sun in the day. So it's dark. You can see all the stars. Maybe it's a time of solitude, of knowing in the darkness, Intuitive knowing. That's what this is about, the High Priestess. Okay, splitting the deck. So we've got the Guardian of the Night. Beautiful deck. You know, if there's something about my channel, it's that all my decks are absolutely gorgeous. Some are the gift of a dear friend. Okay, so first of all, we have a question about what is this mystery? Okay, there's a Knight of Wands. This is a very fiery energy. It's very passionate. It's very sexy. It's very fast. It has a little trouble with commitment. It's so very different from this energy. Okay, so if you're at odds and you're experiencing soul loss or something, it's somewhere around this Knight of Wands. We can see the Wolverine just standing in the fire. Okay. Now, we're going to ask, why are you avoiding this? What is it that, what are you avoiding? You're avoiding some kind of work. We have a wasp working, the paper wasp, making a nest, doing the work. You're avoiding some kind of work? Okay. What is your unconscious fear? Four of Wands. This is such a lovely card. So this would be your soulmate, you know. You think this is your soulmate? Could it be this? I'm like, usually these moon ones are just so much more general. This feels like a very specific meaning here. Well, bear with me, because it's a new reading here. So there's something about somebody that you're kind of really attracted to, this Knight of Wands. I think you think they're your soulmate. They should be, if you're in a Four of Wands with somebody, that's awesome. It should be that you feel like you can be yourself with them, but you're kind of avoiding the work, some kind of work that you need to do here. So let's ask, what is your, so it's your unconscious fear is of this Four of Wands feeling. So it could be that you're afraid of relationships, you're afraid of a soulmate connection, you're afraid of what this could mean, something like that. I'm moving in the camera a little bit. Okay, so your conscious desire for the King of Cups, Scorpio energy. This is an emotionally intelligent person who is very generous, a very good listener. They care about what's happening in the rest of the kingdom, and so they don't tend to talk about their feelings. So that's your desire. That is the best possible outcome in this situation. Okay? The work that you have to do is, just the Ten of Cups, just emotional fulfillment. There's all the animals again here on Earth. So so you're afraid of the work, but the work is this beautiful, and that's what this is about. Like, there's some kind of slowness and gentleness and like really taking the time to build connection here. And this doesn't have to be with a person. Like, it really comes in with, any being here. And it's hard to do this connection. It's like love, you're afraid of love. That's what it is. You're afraid of love. And I think this Knight of Wands thing could be, you're afraid of getting burned or hurt in this situation. You're afraid of committing your heart. But the work is the Ten of Cups, which is your heart. And the most beautiful outcome is this King of Cups, emotional maturity. Okay, what's the higher wisdom here? The Star. You are divinely supported. This is a card of wish fulfillment, healing. It's like a healing your heart story. Wow, it's beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to look at this. I'm kind of going by this reading. So I put the cards in a certain way here on the table. And I'm going to take them out of that order. So I'll put them where I normally do it. And we will go from there to see what this story is. So we're going to clarify. And we're going to clarify with this little deck here. All right. So first of all, the mystery, what it is that's nagging at you, a dream that you had, and it comes in as this Knight of Wands. I think you're having some trust issues with something that you really want. And you're afraid of love. And you're afraid of doing the work. But the work is love. It's a really gorgeous reading. With all this soul loss, I'm very happy. Okay, so let's see. This Pisces, it's a dreamy energy. So let's see. What does this High Priestess reading want to tell you? Okay, first of all, more Wands energy. This is about being recognized as the leader, as an accomplished person. It's a victory. What else do we have? Temperance. Very different energy. There's a waiting here. There's a waiting for this star energy, this divine support you just have to alchemize this. Victory comes through patience, through tempering, so like holding back in your desire towards this intuitively that it's going to work out best if you temper something. And then there's your thoughts, the healing. This comes after that soul loss. You go alone, you get insight. This is your mind here. This little lamb gets wisdom from taking a moment alone. So if you're, so there's something about something you're drawn towards. It doesn't have to be a person, it can be a path, right? It can be a path that you're worried about taking, because what we see here is the Wolverine is like literally walking through fire. I think you're afraid of this walk. That's a fast energy. We do see it's a slow path, right? The slow. This is what it looks like. It's so beautiful. The gift of connection that heals this soul loss. All right. So you're afraid of the work. You're afraid of doing this temperance. You're afraid of going alone and healing, even though you know intuitively, the High Priestess is your intuitive knowing. It's why something is nagging at you, and you're seeking clarification in this reading. You're afraid of the work. What's this work that you're afraid of? What's this fear? Ooh, something has to end. You have to come to terms in your head with the ending of something. It's to stab 10 times. There's no more swords. There's only 10. That's as far as you get in the suit of swords. What else? It's going to hurt. And then there's a new beginning. The Fool. Okay. Then what? Ooh, you're going to have to cut something out. Yeah, that's hard work. So we know you're in pain because the soul loss card is here. There's something that you're not ready to come to terms with. 3's where you are. 10's where you need to get. That takes work. It takes a lot of going alone like this. Okay. Healing. No, getting insight. The beginning of your new journey means that you get the truth and you use it. And when something's over, the 10 of Swords being here, you'll know it. And the thing is, you have to act. And it's sort of going to come in like, are we sure? Is that foolish? You could be like financially dependent in this situation. Like if it's a job and it's just like been a cruel situation, because we have the 8 of Pentacles, made me think of work. But I feel like this is more like the work that you need to do. But you're going to get clarity and then you're going to use it. And the Queen of Swords, she cuts out anything that doesn't serve her. And that's very much what that eye energy is. Saturn, Pluto is going to revolutionize your love life. Venus. So it does feel like we're getting like revolution in like the love that we build our lives on. So, um, so that is what the unconscious fear is. It's actually exactly that. That you're either afraid of love, you're afraid of how love will transform you, or you're afraid that what you thought was a soulmate connection is not, or something like that. You thought this was your place and it's not. We are being asked right now to re-envision the sun, our ideal of happiness. We are being asked right now, as a collective, I keep seeing it in all the readings, to face this Four of Wands as one of the ideals. And Venus here, engaging with Pluto. So there's action, there's communication that needs to be taken. This is your unconscious fear. What else? All right. A little chaos. So what comes after a 4 of this 5, it's conflict. It's a battle of wills. So there's a lot of Wands energy. 6 of Cups. So this is inner child work, soulmate, undefended love. Reflecting on the past. Your unconscious fear lies in the past. In the past, there was chaos and violence. That's how communication worked, through fighting. And this is your unconscious fear comes from old stuff from when you were a kid. You could even be past life if you believe in past life stuff. But that's your unconscious fear is deep in there. And we're in Pisces season. Like the card of Pisces is the moon. It's like get into the darkness, and it's probably never going to be clear. It's probably going to be like that. But there's something in that darkness that's going to speak to you, and then action is going to come from that. And it is around your ideal of the 4 of Wands. And you're afraid of giving that up or revising that. But the problem is it's built on trauma. Yeah, that soul loss. I feel like that 3 of Swords is really old stuff. You have to look back at that. Okay, your conscious desire. The best possible outcome is this you having emotional depth and intelligence, or is this another person who listens to you and gets you and has the capacity to love you? Or is this your planet, like beautifully rising to this occasion as you connect with it? It could be on any level that you have this beautiful King of Cups. This is an emotional, watery, the change of fortune. That's good. Fortune turns in your favor. Wheel of Fortune. Again, divine support. The little Daughter of Cups. Beautiful, emotional, young feeling. It's like feeling young again. And the Emperor. Aries energy. Mars is in Gemini. Jupiter is in Aries right now. This is the best possible outcome. It's like a new structure built on love, on the kind of open-hearted love that comes when you do this inner child work, when you look deep into the story of your life, and you feel the pain, and you receive the message, even though it might kind of just throw everything that you thought, every vision you had, like how the world should be structured up. What happens is the beauty of that is it comes back together. Wheel of Fortune turns, it turns in your favor, it turns towards this beautiful Daughter of Cups. And the Emperor, it's where the wounded healer Chiron is. It's where Jupiter is. Also a very healing energy. And remember, the higher wisdom of this is the star. That's divine support, healing, wish fulfillment. That's very Jupiter energy, but it's a card of Aquarius. What's in Aquarius? The South Node is in Aquarius, and Mercury. Like, so there's like communication in the constellation Aquarius right now. Somebody said they don't understand my readings, and so I really like to bring in astrology, and I used to know almost nothing, but now I know a lot. So I read astrologers, I watch astrologers, I see that in the cards, and so if it doesn't make sense to you, just listen to how the cards are speaking to you. And then for me, the cards kind of affirm what I learned is happening out in the stars. So just if it doesn't make sense to you or doesn't resonate, just let it wash over you. If it does interest you, check it out. Okay, so now the work that you have to do. 10 of Cups, this is your earthly community. This is your gift of connection. This is what the Maker Prince is doing, and it takes time. When you build relationships with others, Temperance is here, healing yourself. Victory comes when you take your time, when you come from a place of healing. The 6 of Cups place, I think. So this is the work, and it's slow. It's the way that the Maker Prince or the Knight of Pentacles works, like with a good plan, with determination. It feels like this fixed energy, this plodding, just going steady on. So that's the work here. This 10 of Cups, it's building connection, building relationship. So let's find out more about this work that you have to do according to this High Priestess reading. Okay, there's your 4 of Wands, right? That's this one. This is your fear. Your unconscious fear is right here. And what were you afraid of? You're afraid that when you look into your past and you look at how you built this vision, that you're afraid to look there at the past. But when you do that work, you get your 4 of Wands for real. Not this false 4 of Wands, maybe. There's the truth. Once a reader said, if your tarot reader pulls the Ace of Swords and they just said something that they said might be spot on, consider that. So the true 4 of Wands comes with, wow, there is some momentum towards that. You have to work towards this like the Chariot. It's like so different from that Maker Prince slow energy. It's like, do not get stuck. You don't go to jail. You move around the board game of life with a purpose. There's a lot of Wands energy here. 4 of Wands seems to be the fear, and then also that you get the true 4 of Wands. I feel like it's almost like you're in the wrong connections and they've hurt you. And the reason you're in these wrong connections is because you haven't looked to your inner child stuff. Or if you are in the right connections, you're afraid that you'll lose them. You're afraid you're going to lose your 4 of Wands, this soulmate connection, because you haven't examined your old stuff. You haven't healed that. And you're afraid that work will cause you to lose what you have. But it doesn't say, it says in fact you truly get that, and it comes like this. It's steady, it's obsessed, right? It's a very beautiful, magical, powerful Chariot energy in this particular Chariot. I almost feel like, what if we look at the book on that? Because I remember this is my very first deck that I got, and so those were the first meanings I learned. But now I've worked with so many other decks at this point. Like, I kind of like to refresh. So let's check it out. Let's see, what does the Chariot mean in this Tarot of the Wild Unknown by Kim Krause. Okay, the Chariot. Strong will, triumph. Remember we had victory back here? That's another kind of lower arcana triumph. Let's see. The Chariot is your confidence, your will, and your inner warrior. At points in your life when you felt the bliss of achievement or triumph, you were riding on his back. Build a relationship with this part of yourself. Try to see the Chariot inside you. The more focused your mind, the easier it will be to sense his presence and stay mounted on his back. With a fixed gaze and sure footing, you'll be headed toward all you dream of. And so that Chariot is so much like the Knight of Pentacles, our Maker Prince, our guiding card for this reading. Like, know you have the discipline and the determination to do this work. Because you're afraid of the work, know you have it. And that you'll get your true Four of Wands if you do this work. Okay. Your higher wisdom. And that is how this work can be integrated in you to move you forward. And what might be the steps to take towards that. So let's see. The Star. Let me show you this beautiful card again from the Guardian of the Night Tarot. Changing your mind. We're all doing this. Six of Swords. We are letting go of our old paradigms. This is just what's happening in the world right now. The Lovers. This is that Four of Wands. This is the soulmate connection that's on all levels. It can be kind of scary. It's often a choice because that's difficult when you meet the person, the one that you meet, mind, heart, soul, body. When you meet them, it's kind of scary, you know, and a lot of people don't choose that. And the Eight of Swords, feeling trapped. It's your mind that's trapped. You are in fact able to fly away, but it does look dangerous. Those wings are delicate, so you can get confused here. So these are the steps that you take. It's very much about flying here, because the Lovers are flying, and because this butterfly feels trapped but needs to fly towards this healing. So the higher wisdom is you're divinely supported. You're not alone. You do have a decision to make between changing your mind and staying stuck. When you're stuck, it's in pain. It's in darkness. It's in fear. If you do this work, you end up in the most beautiful place. And all you need to know is that you have it in you to do this work. Things will turn in your favor. The world will be built on love. Your world, the larger world. And whatever level you're taking this reading, whether you're taking it in a very personal way or you're thinking of this as a collective reading about our relationship and the gift of connection that we may have towards our planet, which is how I tend to take a reading like this. I tend to think about being stuck in the way we've always done things, that old Eight of Swords mindset, right? This is our choice. It's a scary choice. Or letting down, just dropping those swords and moving towards that rainbow. This says fly. This says fly. It's almost like it's a choice, but it's not a choice. But in fact, some people will choose this, right? Some people will choose this. But healing, which is divinely supported, Aquarian, this is Aquarius card. The Aquarius knows before everybody else. They sometimes can seem like weirdos to everybody else. They just see. And it's a humanitarian, bigger than your individual story, kind of higher wisdom of this reading. So, I mean, if you're in a bad relationship, you're not available to the world because you're surviving. Or if you haven't examined your survival tendencies, you're constantly in defense mode, and so you don't have much to offer. So like this is very much about dealing with whatever is your soul loss in order to be present like this for connections on all levels of life, with your romantic small life to your friendships to your community, and ultimately in your relationships with your planet. To do this, which is the higher wisdom of this reading, to do this, you must put down your old thoughts. What are the old stories? How are you limiting yourself? How are you, you need to get here, right? You're afraid to do the work. It's painful. That's very painful. You're afraid to do that work. But once you do that work, and you do what the Queen of Swords is so good at, you cut out the stuff that hurts so that you can fly. You can fly like this, and you won't fly alone either. So if it's on the level of relationship, I can tell you, like, all of it is going to benefit all of it. It's all connected here, right? And I guess that's what this Wheel of Fortune image here is, all tangled up. It doesn't make total sense. There's the moon, there's the sun, there's dark and light, there's all this color, and it needs to be untangled, and we can't quite see what the new structure is going to be, but we do see this. It's going to be like this, right? It's going to feel like this. This is the conscious desire, the best possible outcome for this reading. I feel like the cards say you get to have that underlying this deck. I didn't look at this other deck, but I'm going to tell you right now. There's the High Priestess card. But death, it's a transformation. It's an ending you cannot prevent. But right now, you have a decision to make. The decision, as we know, is between one paradigm and the other. One you feel trapped in, one you feel free in. What was the card at the bottom of this deck? Knight of Swords. Six of Swords again. So you have the truth. And you are a messenger. This is a message of truth. And this is the changing of the mind. This is this card. Little sea turtle. Six of Swords. Moving, drop what you know, what you've thought, and move towards this. Move towards calmer waters. It looks like an uphill swim in that card. What did this deck want to say? I don't know. It wanted to say something, so let's see. Let's see if it says anything new at all. What do we want to ask? I'm just going to pull three cards like, what did you want to say, little decklet? Let's see. 1, 2, and 3. 1. Death. Again. 2. 4 of Swords. Again. And 3. The Star. Again. Beautiful. Repetition of cards we have seen. So this transformation of death, which is not easy. You know, it's like, it's card of Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio. I'm unfazed by it, but it's a feared card because it hurts. It's this feeling when you get here, you're done, it's dead. But then you wake up again, you rise from the dead in tarot. You heal. You go, and those are your swords, your thoughts, your mind. You heal your mind. And then we end up, again, with the Star. That Aquarius card, here represented by much more traditionally, like the naked woman in her authenticity in the waters of her emotions, pouring water on the land and back into the water. And on the bottom, just one card. The Magician. You have all the tools you need to build the world that you want to live in. This is the only thing that this deck has added, but I'm so glad I asked. And I like what it reinforced, which is, yeah, so very cool. Nothing wrong with a little reinforcement. On the bottom upside down here, we get the High Priestess. I can't help but point out that she's, she's coming in when she's upside down. She's not here yet. So literally, this eye formation and these conjunctions are happening in the next few hours. So see what unfolds for you. Let me know. I hope this reading was helpful. Have a beautiful day.